Hello YouTube world, Mac Daddy 1911A1 here with the Shade Tree Survivalists. The Art of Camouflage should be retitled The Art of Deception. The Art of the Optical Illusion. Got a question for you. I want you to think about this truly. What is the most recognizable form that you know? Think about that. What is the most recognizable form that you know? Outline, features, whatever the case may be. I mean, whatever, however you want to put it. I'll tell you what it is. The first thing a baby sees in 90% of the cases when they open their eyes and are able to recognize what their eyes can actually see something, because they don't do it the moment they're born. I mean, think about it. You've been in darkness 9 months. You're not going to open your eyes up in a bright operating room and be able to see what the hell you're looking at. So it's not the doctor. It's not a nurse. It is your mother. Okay? Her face, her head, her neck, her shoulders, her arms, her upper body. From that day forward, you are constantly seeing people. Everybody I have ever met has a head, neck, shoulders, arms. Okay? You're not going to make the brain, your brain, or a enemy soldier, bad guy, whatever, you're not going to make their brain simply not recognize a human form by coloring it. Okay, think about this. Not like me, I'm 41 years old. From the time I first saw my mama's face, okay, to now, I've been seeing human beings in various shapes, sizes, colors, configurations for 41 freaking years. I've seen folks from all over the world. I've met people who I could not understand and who could not understand me because of the language barrier. But they all had basically the same features. You know, a head, a nose, a brow, eyebrows, eyelashes, eyeballs, you know, lips, teeth, tongue, jawline, you name it. Neck, some thick, some skinny, you know, bony, whatever the case may be. White, black, brown, tan, red, especially folks that are translucent because they stay in the office all the time. They get out in the sun for a little bit. They are bright freaking red, look like lobsters. So I've seen every different color. I've seen different eye colors. I've seen people with contacts who were faking their eye color. I've seen just all kinds of things. I've seen humans sitting, standing, running, walking, laying down, crouched up, crying, screaming bloody murder, mad as hell. And so have you. So what makes you people think that just simply changing the color of the human being is going to make it where our brain does not recognize what it is seeing as human? I got a great new video I bought here at Walmart here a week or so ago. It's called The Hornet's Nest. It is a documentary that this filmmaker or photojournalist made where he and his son went to Afghanistan and were embedded with the U.S. Marine Corps Infantry as well as the 101st Airborne Infantry. And were getting shot at quite a bit of the time. You can actually hear the bullets whiz by. And he interviewed several troopers who were shot, but it hit the ceramic plate and they lived to tell the tale. And also documented, now he didn't actually show it, but there were 3 men that were killed while he was with the 101st Airborne. The 101st Airborne had the most beautiful multicam you ever laid eyeballs on. The latest, greatest stuff you ever laid eyeballs on. Except for one problem. They did not put any personal camouflage on, and they went into this village up in the Kunar province, way the heck out there, where no U.S. troops or foreign troops of any kind from any country had ever been. In the middle of the freaking winter, and they got this beautiful bright green, brown, white, all this different colors in that multicam camouflage on, and everything around them was dark brown and was dormant for the winter. Not dead, but dormant for the winter, like your grass in your yard does. The trees drop their leaves and so forth. Now, there was still a lot of green around and about, but you could see them walking down through there just pretty as the damn day is long. Because I've got camouflage on. That means not a damn thing to the brain. Now, in preparation for this video, I have done a hell of a lot of thinking on this. And one of the lines from the movie Silence of the Lambs with Anthony Hopkins and Jodie Foster, one of the lines that sticks in my head that's been banging around this whole time was this is Hannibal Lecter asking Starling, Jodie Foster's character Starling, a question. How do we begin to covet? And her answer was, we begin to covet the things we see around us every day. And that's what kept banging around in my head, and that's how I figured out in a way to explain it to you guys and gals. You recognize things that you see all the time, patterns that you see all the time. Did a little research after Kim kicked me in the butt the other day and said, go online, punch something in, and I wouldn't do it, so she did it, and she got a hold of this guy on this website, and I'm trying to find it in my notes. She put in the search term, how our eyes see. And it came across this guy, Ken Rockwell, at kenrockwell.com, and he had a great article on it. And he was explaining two of the mechanisms that the brain uses to be able to interpret what the eyes see, because you have to understand there's thousands of photoreceptors, that's what they call them, inside the eyeball. Each one sends a signal across the optical nerve into the temporal lobe at the front of the brain here, above the eyes. And that part of the brain breaks it down and interprets it, and that's what you see. Okay? If you've ever had a wound in the temporal lobe area, whether it be a concussion or whatever, it can really screw with your vision. But basically, the two processes that the brain uses is pattern recognition and pattern comparison. Pattern recognition is where the brain has seen a pattern. You know, like your mother's form, your house, the people in your lives, your car, just whatever you've already seen over and over and over again. And it uses pattern recognition to help decipher what what the eyes are seeing now into something that is familiar that you can understand. The other is pattern comparison. So you're taking a something new that you're seeing. The brain compares it with past patterns, and it tries to decipher the new information so that it has a pattern there. So what the hell does that mean? I'll tell you what it means. All right? You take a guy, you stand him up in front of the trees in traditional street clothes. Let's just say, for craps and giggles, he's got on a white t-shirt, blue jeans, Nike tennis shoes, and a baseball cap. All right? Your mind understands that form. All right? Okay, you take the same guy or a different guy, but the same build, you stick him in beautiful camouflage. You shove him in that same spot, and the brain will decipher the outline of that guy. Be able to discern that it is a guy versus a gal. Be able to discern that the coloration is different, but the overall outline is the same. Okay? And basically what that means is you are not going to fool the brain of anyone who is competent into not seeing a human being simply because they have a camouflage pattern on. especially when that camouflage pattern has nothing to do or nothing in common whatsoever with the background in which they are standing. Reference my last Art of Camouflage video where the opening scene I said, have you ever wondered what it would be like to see someone standing in front of the wrong background in the wrong camouflage? Well, it's not. I didn't exactly word it like that. Wearing camouflage, standing in front of the wrong background. You can see the head, the neck, the shoulders, the arms, the torso, the legs. Bam! Just as clear as the day is long. If the background had been brighter, it would have been much more obvious, but it was not very difficult to see. Okay, tell me what you see. Can you count heads? Let's start from the far left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and way over here, number 8. That's terrible, man. And all it would take is just a little bit of time and effort. Natural foliage. You can break that outline up, blend right in with that dead damn stuff right there. It's winter time. Alright, here's your lesson. That's in the Kunar province of Afghanistan in a new video I've got. And I just wanted to take the time to show you this. That the soldiers, every soldier in that video has, or in that picture there, has the new multicam. You know, it's supposed to be the greatest damn thing since sliced bread. The soldier right here in the foreground has on both woodland camouflage as well as a backpack that is multi-camo. Alright, to the far left you can see the head and shoulders and the back of one soldier. Then a little bit closer to the camera you can see another soldier, another soldier, another soldier, another soldier, and finally the guy with a black balaclava on his head. Now, if multicam is supposed to be so good, then how come you can see them all the way down there? That's the point, ladies and gentlemen. Each and every single one of those soldiers, including the one way the hell down there at the bottom left-hand corner, you can see their head, there's outline of their shoulders, the backpack. I mean, it stands out against that dark ground, that brown. See, like what I was saying, and that multicam is pretty good stuff, no doubt. But what I'm saying is, no matter what type of camouflage you're wearing, nothing works in every situation. Alright, try this one on for size. How many can you count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I ain't gonna zoom in on this guy's face, but you can see his torso and all. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like I said, the camouflage is the art of deception. It is the art of producing an optical illusion for the brain of your opponent, because it is the brain that deciphers and tries to figure out what it is the eyes are seeing, okay, from the signal inputs from the eyeballs. The point of camouflage is to make your enemy see something else, something that is not you, something that is not man-made, something that is not human. Okay, it's the art of deception, the art of the optical illusion. Familiar shapes are a recognizable pattern to the brain. The human form in all its colors, shapes, sizes, positions are all familiar forms and patterns the brain already knows. It has known since the moment you were born, the moment, well, not the moment you were born, but the moment you opened your eyes and saw your mother for the very first time, or your father, or an aunt or an uncle, or whoever happened to be taking care of you when you were a baby. And ever since then, in every shape, size, form, you have seen other human beings. Unless you lived on a desert island with nothing but your own people. And then you maybe not have seen other folks of other colors and so forth, different hairstyles, whatever the case may be, but the form is not going to change. Men look like men. Women look like women. Now you have some men who dress up to look like women and some women who dress up to look like men. Well, okay, but they still have a human form. You're not going to fool the eyeball or the brain, especially the brain. You're not going to fool the brain just simply because you colored up a little bit. Okay, here's another example. If you've seen the little test that's going around on Facebook where they write out an entire sentence and they remove all the vowels from all the words and leave only the consonants in the words from top to bottom. Yet most people can go through there and they can read the entire message with barely a pause whatsoever, even though there's not one single vowel in the damn sentence. Okay, you're not going to fool the brain. There's a pattern there. These words that you've read over and over and over your entire life, you can recognize these words even when part of the word is missing. Same thing when it comes to this camouflage. You can camouflage it so well from the front that you don't see the nose or the mouth, but the eyes are still there. The shape of the head, the jawline is still there. You're not going to fool the brain simply by doing that. What if you cannot even see the features of the face, but you got the shape of the head, the neck, the shoulders? Humanoid. Think about all the freaking humanoid targets you shoot at. Most are not detailed with eye sockets, eyeballs, eyelids, eyelashes, eyebrows, nose hair, beard, mustache, lips, teeth. You know, all these different things. They're just an outline of a human form. A bland head, barely anything discerning the neck, but you've got the neck area, you've got the outline of the shoulders. Bam. You've seen that a million times. So how do you think you're gonna fool your opponent simply by coloring yourself to look like your background? If there is a slight difference between you and the background, or if you're backlit any at all, you're screwed. They will see you. If the coloration and background and surroundings closely match your camouflage coloring, the brain can be fooled in that way. However, if the human form is discernible at all, bam, you are made. You're through. And the final thing I want to say before I get down and continue with the rest of the videos is people are not going to unlearn the human form just because it has a different color, coloration, pattern, clothing. Okay? And the head, neck, and shoulders and upper arm, I mean the arms, those are the things that will give you away so fast. Think about a woman with a dress that completely covers her form from her neck to her feet. You can't even see her feet. A wedding dress, for instance. Now, of course, most of them, they try to poof up their boobs, but you still know it's a woman in there. She's still got her head, her neck, her arms, her shoulders and her arms. You're going to see that. Okay, that is the most recognizable part of any human being because that's what we first see when we are babies. Okay? So you need to think about that. And then you need to take into account some of the lessons I'm trying to put out there for you to see in this video. Sometimes in this video, I don't think I'm doing as well as I actually am. I'm doing a lot better than I think I am. And in some parts of the video, because I can't you know, I got the little tiny viewfinder I'm trying to look at from wherever I'm standing while I'm doing, you know, what I'm doing. So I really can't see what the camera sees until it's all said and done. But you will see when you get it right how the head and the neck and the shoulders just disappear. All right, you get the coloration right and you break that outline up. You got it. You have got it. But anywho, I hope you enjoy the video and I hope you learned something from it. If nothing else, what I just simply said, you're not going to unteach a human being. You're not going to unteach them the recognition of the human form. Because that's the first thing they see. And it probably, in most cases, will be the last thing most people see. Their loved ones looking upon them as they are being raised and as they die. Just sit back, kick back, and watch the rest of it. YouTube world, most of us out there who are doing what I'm doing have our favorite camouflage pattern. We have all these, you know, the old standby woodland camouflage. We had desert camouflage. We had the new multicam and so forth. But you still have the problem if you're not wearing face paint or a hat. You have the head, the neck, the shoulders, the arms, so forth, regardless of what the coloration is. So you go out and you add a hat. You add some fancy mechanics gloves, or in this case, Wells Lamont work gloves, so your hands are protected. You still have the problem of the head, the neck, the shoulders, the arms. So then you go out and you say, well, I'm going to get more camouflaged. Well, buy me some camouflage gloves and by God put on. That'll take care of it. So you put your new fancy camouflage gloves on. These here are Mossy Oak Infinity Breakup. Alright, so now the hands are a little bit harder to see, but you still have the problem with the head, the neck, the shoulders, the arms. So then you go out, you buy you a fancy face mask like the one I've got. And I love this thing. It's not perfect, but for no more than I paid for it, it is outstanding. And one of these days I'll get this sucker on. And you see I didn't do it right. I think the best thing to do is open it up. Put the straps around my freaking head. This will be the only comedy relief you get this today, so suck it up, Buttercup. Alright. So now we got the face mask. We'll put that on. So that deals with one problem, the coloration. And we get the hat and we stick it back on. And you still have the head, the shoulders, and arms, and that's a dead giveaway. So we've done all that, and this is what we've got to this point. What else can you add? A whole hell of a lot more camouflage to your hat, to your clothing, arms, shoulders, so forth. Make it blend in even better with the environment you intend to use the camouflage pattern clothing in. You can also do it on your legs, your gear such as your external holster, your leg holster. Helps it blend in. Now I do need something to do with the gun, but for now that'll be alright. Black, there's a lot of black in nature, mostly in shadows and so forth, so for now it'll have to just... And once you got all your combat gear on, you've added even more stuff to it. Break up the shoulders, break up the equipment. Now the pouches I haven't done anything for. I'm leaving those open for natural camouflage. Backpack, got a full cover over it. I've added quite a bit to it. Still got to do a little work on the bottom of it, but do you understand? Do you see what I'm saying? The difference between just the uniform and taking the time to add something that looks a little more natural to it. Stay tuned. Finally, you can add vegetation from the area you're working in. That's the best cover of all. That's the best camouflage of all. you start looking more like a freaking bush. But you don't want so much of it that you cannot access your pouches for your extra ammunition and your knife or whatever the case may be. You just want it to help you blend in with your background. Now I'm standing out here in the yard in front of a dark green bush, but now all the leaves are changing and most of them don't look like that. The few green items that are left are like these wild, what do you call these plants, baby?
Wild hedge.
The wild hedges, as well as pine that I've got here and on my leg down here. So you just add a little bit of natural vegetation to yourself, not enough to overwhelm your gear and you really actually look like a freaking walking bush. You don't want too much. And if you have someone with you who can step back and look at your overall gear, it helps a hell of a lot. You can do that to your backpack, your web gear, and so forth. You don't want to look exactly like a bush, you just want to blend in everything. The shoulders, your web gear, your legs, and so forth. Now, of course, you can see the difference in between the two hats. Now, this is my boonie hat I wear most of the time, and most of my videos when I'm actually wearing it. And this is an old hat I have had for 25, 30 years, and I've added camouflage to it. It's just basically a hunter's hat in the older style. You know, it's floppy like a boonie hat, but the brim is not nearly as wide. And I've added quite a bit of camouflage to it over time. But looking at it head on, I mean, it's just, oh, it blends in so freaking well. Look at there. That right there is Crumbs from Raisin eating her food and coming over and just rubbing against me with them big floppity damn lips. That is disgusting. It's like spit up from a baby. Okay, this is old Betsy, since I finished the camouflage sleeve on her. Sorry about the wind noise, folks, but this is just not a video you want to do inside the house. The last addition was the barrel sleeve that is separate from the stock sleeve, the chassis sleeve. And of course the magazine, it sticks out pretty bad, but that's the only one that has that much green on it. Most of the rest have more brown and gray, and I believe would really blend in a whole lot better. I still need to do the rear of the stock, but for now that will do just fine. Thank you very much. And you see how the front part of it, which should be facing the enemy, I hope, blends in very well with its background. And the only thing I haven't been able to take care of yet is the flash suppressor, but we're going to add some gray and some brown to it, some light tan maybe, and hopefully it'll blend in a lot better with the background than it is now. But there's Betsy. And one more thing while I'm thinking about it, they make spray-on fire retardant, and if you're going to use burlap for the sleeve, you definitely will need it, especially near the flash suppressor as well as the gas port where the exhausted gas pressure comes out right there. And that's something you need to think about. Okay, I may cut this back before it's all said and done. We'll see what happens. But I think it came out really nice. And you can see the red dot sight. It just blends right in. But there it is. Now from the front, looking directly on, and you can see the, well, if I get my camera set here, you can see the lens. Okay. And that is one of the considerations. That's one of the good reasons to have the barrel pointing down when you're on patrol until you actually need it. That barrel, I mean that red lens will give you away, and as well as reflect light, which I've covered in the beginning of this video. Any optic system, whether it be a scope or a red dot or a reflex sight that has a glass or highly polished plastic cover will reflect light that will get you into third eyeball right between your eyes. So be conscious of that. Think, folks. Bam! Bam! Howdy doody. Pop! Deflate. Using slight depressions to help hide your position. And of course, if there's any vegetation between you and the viewer, that makes it that much better.
Well, I don't know how much of that camera got without the sun blinding it. Damn backpack's heavy. I'm going to the yard now. Okay, YouTube world, this is what you can do, and this is not it, and this is not all. This is like a 5-minute or maybe 10-minute camouflage job, adding extra to my kit, even to the rifle. So if you take the time, not only to prepare yourself, to camouflage yourself, but to stalk your quarry, whatever that may be. You can be unseen right up to the last damn second, brother. And you sure damn sure put them in the hurt locker. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope, above all else, that you understand what I'm saying. A little bit of preparation, and you too can go out in the woods or in the urban area, even, you know, doesn't necessarily have to be out in the forest. You too can damn well do something to take care of business. I don't know how well the camera's picking all this up in the backpack, but I've got tons of stuff in the backpack. Boy, got it on my legs. Got it on my gear. Just a little bit on the gear. Got it on the shoulders to break the shoulders up, help break up the head as well as the shoulder outline. More over here on this gear, plus on the rifle. Just a little bit of time and effort. Okay, now sewing all this extra stuff on the jacket, it took quite a bit of time. But if you're willing to put in the time and effort, you can, by God, be the predator instead of the damn prey. 10-4 Roger. This is Mac Daddy 1911A1 with the Shade Tree Survivalist. I hope you learned something. I hope you benefit from it. I'm going to roll in some still photographs of the gear as I worked on it. And I'm going to take one more shot of me out in the sunshine so you can get a good shot of everything together. This is Mac Daddy 1911A1 with the Shade Tree Survivalist. Thank you very much for watching. Alright, here's old Betsy. Even had a little bit of camouflage her. Could have added some more, I just didn't. I want to take the time and lay her down. And you know, I'm not going to put the face mask on, but I'll lay that under the action so that the action doesn't get any filth in it. Put the hat back on. You can see, of course, out here with the sun right in my face, the shadow it throws on the face. As you can see, added vegetation up here to break up the outline of the shoulders. That's the biggest thing. Alright, did the same on this side, did the same on the backpack. Got it on my legs. Okay, got it in my gear. And it helps a lot. It helps a whole lot. I hope you get the idea and understand. Thank you very much for watching. This is Mac Daddy 1911A1 with the Shade Tree Survivalist. Y'all have a good day.